Notts County Talk. It's another Sunday night preview. It's another big game. We say it every time, but it is a huge game, isn't it, George?
Yeah, absolutely. There's only 3 games left now, isn't there? Every point counts more than ever now. Tough side as well. Wrexham are showing to be. It's going to be a good test for us. Hoping to do the double over them though.
Yeah, definitely. Tonight, there's no guests. We just wanted to answer your questions. You know, we try and answer as many as possible, but sometimes with a guest, we can't do that. So literally anything you've got, throw it in the chat. We're going to try and do as many comments as we can on screen, and we'll get talking about the game. Now, for me, looking at the league table, if there's a winner in this game, they take a playoff spot. No doubt. No doubt.
I agree.
Whoever wins this is heading. Well, he's looking like they're on their way to Ashton Gate. I think.
Don't ever say that again.
Big venue. No, I really do. I think if Wrexham go out there and win, I don't know. It makes a very, very interesting game. At the same time, no side wants to lose. But if you win, you can sort of relax a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. I think one thing you've got to remember as well is this isn't just a 6-pointer game. This is the possibility that we could be playing these in the playoffs. So I think both sides need to sort of, well, they've got a lot to play for, haven't they? It's not just like say 6 points. It's the mentalness of it for a player. Like, they've beat us twice this season. So they could do it a third time. And like for Wrexham, they're going to be wanting to win because it's just that crucial time of the season for them as well. Identical points, aren't we?
100%. I'm just looking at the table now. Both played the same amount of games. Both on 64 points. Both scored 58. Yet they've conceded 2 less. So they have a +2 goal difference on Notts. Now, we've said if either team win, that's it. Pretty much playoffs is all but guaranteed. It's all but guaranteed. But a draw then makes it interesting, because for me, a draw means we have to go out against Weymouth and score as many as we can. Literally, it's like that. Because yesterday was a good result, I thought. The performance was good. We didn't lose. It was a good performance. The result, you know what I'm trying to say. It wasn't a bad result.
If that game was played 100 more times, it'd have been Notts win.
Yeah, at least 95 times out of 100. But I know we're still happy in the playoffs, but we've now lost the grip on that 5th place, which was the home tie, which I hope a few people haven't forgot. Yeah, it was. I think 5th place is vital because it means we can be in stadiums. Chris says, "Evening, gentlemen. Hi, Chris. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us again." We'll get on with the with the questions and comments then. First of all, George, non-Notch related. Did anyone see Alisson score? Yes.
I heard about it. I've not seen it though.
Yeah, very good header. Mark LSS. Yeah, left unmarked in there.
Unbelievable.
Okay, we'll kick off with Colin that says, players finally being allowed to do what they're good at. Hardly stifle this by concentrating too much on opposition strengths. How many points did he cost us? I'll let you kick off for that, George.
It's hard, isn't it? It's hard to say. You could say it's loads, you could say it's very little, but I think we've just got to sort of focus on the way we're playing now. You know, Rodriguez sort of alluded to it in his post-match game. If anyone saw it, it's obviously on their Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Notts County's YouTube. He was saying that now he's given the freedom to roam and the freedom to move. Now, if that's something that Ardley wasn't allowing him to do, and he wasn't getting the best out of him, then you're sort of thinking that the change was probably the right thing to do, because the way Rodriguez is playing, the way Miller's playing, the way Chickson's playing, O'Brien's got a hat-trick. He's been playing really well as well. Even Wotton, I feel like Wotton's improved a little bit. That's 5 players there from a starting 11 for me that stand out different. And even Miller, like Chickson's the main point for me. A player that was not in favour at all. I know he put it on himself. He blamed himself for not having the right attitude and stuff like that. But it's strange how when the new manager's come in and he's shown his stead, that he's in the squad and he's probably one of the best players on the pitch week in, week out as it goes. So
Yeah.
when you look at it like that, it sort of feels like that the way that Ardley set up to sort of play to the opposition's strengths, it could have cost us a lot of points this season.
I think the longer this goes on, the longer this run goes on under Birchnell, I think Colin's spot on with this. I mean, if this sticks in my head all the time. Kings Lynn at home got the 2-2 with 2 Wootton goals. They literally dragged us through the mud for the whole game. They literally battered us, and that was a few games after they furloughed players and were literally threatening out to players. And what sticks in my mind is if we went out and played like Birchnell sets us up and let players do things, that would not have happened. We would not have drawn to Kings Lynn.
Yeah.
No way. And I think we're starting to see this more and more now. It took time. It did take time, but I think Colin could be spot on there.
I think as well, just quickly before we move on as well, is you look at the goal scoring record of late. I think it's 13 goals in 4 games now. And yesterday, you're thinking we should have had at least 2 more. We hit the woodwork twice. We were convincing our thought that game, and we did deserve more goals. So to come from a side that's really struggling to score to a side that maybe letting in a couple of more goals but are freely scoring, the contrast it's crazy, really, to say it's the same squad.
Yeah, great comment, Colin. Thanks for that. Birchnell went all out of 2-2, and I think we'll do the same from the get-go. Yeah, he is very attacking minded, very positive, and we got a very good result at home to Stockport. We defended really well in that game, 1-0 win, but we were sat on the 1-0 against a team like Stockport.
Yeah,
I think if this was Birchnell now, we'd have got the goal and we'd have pushed again, because we've seen attack a team that are attacking you. And we had a comment in our watch along yesterday: attack is the best form of defence. I think Birchnell's got it spot on. We have the players. If you leave any gaps, Rodriguez will hurt. Enzio will hurt when he comes on. I think it's important that we do that.
I think an interesting point you made yesterday in a watch along, Tom, was like the intensity that we're showing now from the start of the game has improved a lot, but you can't sustain it for a full game, and it does sort of look like we're playing like that for as long as we sort of can. So for me, the worry is like, it's good at the moment, and we're not used to playing like that, and there's not actually been that much change. I just hope that we can sustain that over a long period of time. Do you know what I mean? That level of intensity in games, especially when it's Saturday, Tuesday at the moment.
I think it's smart though. I do think we're seeing it smart, because we're seeing points yesterday, and some people might have misread the situation where we didn't break Bromley down straight away, and then all of a sudden you go a passage of 3 or 4 minutes where it's going Brindley to Ellis to Chickson, maybe out to Kelly Evans, back to Chickson, and you're thinking, oh, come on lads, we've got him here, but that's Bromley not touching the ball for a good 1-2 minutes, chasing down, and then all of a sudden one player gets frustrated, they bang out of position, next thing you know, that's it, gaps opened up, and we're in. Because I kept using the phrase, and I really like this phrase in football, I think it's an important one: breaking the line. If you get between that defence and the midfield, and you get a player like Rodriguez who's got a brilliant turning circle, you're away. Yeah, so
exactly.
I think you're spot on, George, was saying, can we keep the intensity? But I think we're being smarter with it this time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Next one. Failed to reach the playoffs. Would be confident for next season with Birchnell. George?
Yeah, 100%. I was actually on a walk last night and I bumped into Will. He's fan chat, well, not so regular at the moment, but he was a fan chat regular when we were in stadiums. I was talking to him, and he's literally said that to me. Even if we don't make playoffs this season, I'm 100% behind Birchnell, and I agreed with him. I think you can't just look at. I mean, I know he's gone now, but Maurice Ross did a video, didn't he, on YouTube, where he's saying the results are byproduct of a game. The performances of late have been outstanding compared to what we've seen this season. Outstanding, like really interesting games of football as well, where you can sort of see the changes that have happened. So yeah, I would 100% be behind Dean Birchall unless we just have an absolute calamity end to the season.
I think we've seen that. I don't think that's going to happen though.
No, I don't think it will. That's why I'm behind him. Yeah,
and this next comment sort of ties in with what I'm thinking about this. Ben, thank you. I know you're a big fan of the channel and you don't always get to watch live, so thanks for joining with us. But 5th is key. We've got to think though, whether if we make playoffs, it's regardless of where we finish in the playoffs now, it's 3 games. We have to play 3 games. And if you look at percentage chance, unless we finish 5th, there's a high percentage chance the first game is away from home. Now, that's very difficult to win 3 games away from home, where it looks like maybe Torquay, Stockport, and Hartlepool, we will meet at least one of those on the way. We've got to remember as well that there's a high chance that we'll be in this division next season. So 5th is massive, but if not, going back to the comment that was just on the screen, massively behind Birchall, because I think whatever happens this season, we looked dead and buried like 3 or 4 games ago. Absolutely gone. So yeah, it's massively important.
Michael Doyle, key man.
Well,
you look at the turning point.
Yeah, I think it is. I genuinely think it is. We've said it before. The man that can link what is going on in the manager's head can link it onto the pitch. I said we're going to be trendsetters. You'll see it in like 3 or 4 years. Pep Guardiola will have like Phil Foden as his assistant manager, and it'll be cool. Barcelona like calling tiki-taka or whatever. Notts County will have coined. Well, I'll have a phrase for it soon. We'll have the Doyle effect or something like that. But I'm 99% sure that's what'll happen.
He's had a few things like that, hasn't he? Doyle.
Yeah.
What was it? Schmeichel Doyle. That was it.
Schmeichel Doyle. Love it. This is a good one. Ruben on current form. This is a bit of fun, this one. Or Roberts on end of season form last year. That is a really, really good question. That is difficult.
I'd go Roberts.
Would you?
Yeah. No disrespect to Ruben. I just think Roberts he's just cut above for me.
And Roberts didn't get that many goals in that many games. No, but I agree.
But he was so key to everything we did. Like, I like the one that sticks with me is an assist he got for Dennis, where he's like outside of the foot, sit on like the corner of the 18-yard box, and he looks like he's sort of shot, but he's just pinged it and it's perfectly onto Dennis's head.
Yeah, Ruben outside of the foot assist yesterday.
I know, but I just think
edge of the 18-yard box.
Different players have different paths into the game. I mean, you look at Roberts; he sort of started his career in the Premiership with Newcastle. Not that he like got into the Newcastle team, but you could sort of see that there's obviously quality player there. And Ruben obviously had a bit of a lesser start to his career. That doesn't mean he's not as good a player, because we can see that he is. And the scary thing is if we get promoted next season, those two playing next to each other in good form, it's going to be scary, isn't it? Scary stuff.
It is. It really is. But both are.
That's not undermining
level
Ruben one bit. Like I'm not saying Ruben's not this, that, and the other. Ruben is absolutely the cut above. And I was actually reading stats. I think Richard had liked it on Twitter, so it had come up in my recommended tweets about how Rodriguez
too good.
Yeah, he's too good for the National League. Yeah. It's quite an interesting read, to be fair. But I'm not going to talk about that too much more, because I want to hold on to.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, could be a few scouts watching this. There's a lot of likes for this comment in the chat. So Chris said he thinks Ardy, going back to that Ardy thing, because these comments do come in different orders. Ardy handed over. Yeah, what Ardy did was incredible at the club. Really was. To even get to the playoffs last season was really, really good. I don't know many managers that would have kept us up last year. We were in a right mess. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. The year before. But yeah, new era is here. I agree with that. And a lot of people are agreeing with you there, Chris. So it's a very good time, regardless of what happens for the rest of the season, to be a Notts fan, I think.
Yeah,
it really is.
Spot on from Chris. I think you look at what Ardley had to deal with at the back end of the relegation season. It must have been hell, real hell. Like every corner there was a problem. Apparently there was divides in the changing room. The owners, I'm not going to expand on what the owner was, but he was what he was. We know he was problematic. Everything was just so problematic, wasn't it, for him? And he stuck by the club. And I know there's a lot of people sort of saying, he doesn't deserve to stay, but he stuck by us, got us into the playoffs, and we got to the final, and it's great memories. Even though we couldn't be there, it's good memories. A few of us went to the pub, didn't we, to watch the game, and it's enjoyable. And he gave us good memories as Notts fans. As much as it was probably the lowest of lows, he gave us a good high. Longest serving manager for as long as I can remember, for sure. So he must have been doing something right,
Yeah, definitely. Colin, 5 days to go to be sat in the Field of Dreams. Now, if you didn't watch our watch along against Barnet, George was really upset about £12.50 price tag for the stream. I think we got treated to a still image of the sprinklers midway through the first half. But it's costing us £10, and I think that's a good gesture from the club. Half price tickets for season ticket holders. I think Lifeline and official supporters, club members, could purchase from a couple of days ago. I think it's general sale in the morning, I think, George. So
yeah,
I have no doubt we'll sell tickets out. If you are really wanting to get a ticket and you haven't yet got one, tomorrow morning, as soon as they go live,
set your alarm clocks.
I think it was 9 o'clock. I think it went live at 9. Don't miss out, because it's going to be goosebumps. Genuinely, it's for everyone that's watching this. They'll know. If you said this to a non-football fan, they'll think, "What are you talking about?" But honestly, I've said it before. When those players come out on the pitch, it's going to be something different. Especially if we go and get a fantastic result against Wrexham, the appreciation we're going to show these players, because I've heard multiple footballers talk about it. It's not actually that enjoyable playing without fans.
I think. Sorry, go on.
Go on.
I think as well, I don't know if anyone watched the FA Cup final yesterday, but I certainly did. And you're sort of seeing the scenes at Wembley, and you almost put yourself in a Leicester fan's position where, I know as much as Ashton Gate is just a poor venue, in my opinion, if we get there and get promoted, what a day it's going to be. You're not going to be bothered if it's Ashton Gate or your local field, are you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think you could see the emotion as well. Like, I don't know if you watched it. It was on BBC, wasn't it? I watched it on BBC anyway.
Yeah.
Gary Lineker was in tears, wasn't he? He couldn't hold himself together. He was crying. The owner came out on the pitch, and obviously everything that went on with his dad and stuff like that. It was quite emotional. It was good to see, and it just sort of brings it back down to I just can't wait to get back into the stadium. It just got you right in the feelings. I can't wait to be back.
It is. It's seeing those fans celebrate together. It's going to be an unreal moment. Like, it's going to hit me. It's going to hit me here, George. It's going to get me
right there, mate. Yeah, I'm just glad VAR's not in the National League, because I felt for the Chelsea fans yesterday.
Oh, awful!
It's
taken a moment away from them.
There's a few videos that are quite comical if you're not a Chelsea fan.
But still,
it's good, man. Not a fan of VAR, to be honest, but that's another talk for another day.
Definitely not. Let's see what else we've got in the comments section. Then loads coming in tonight. I've got a really good amount of viewers. Just put anything in the chat. I want to get through it. Kieran says, "Would you want to keep Wootton or look to replace him, or bring in a proven goal scorer?" So this goes back to what we said right at the start of the video. You said, George, there's players that are different. Now, I don't know if it's hard to know. We talk throughout the game, after the game, before the game, on lives. But we basically talk about Notts all the time. We're big fans. That's what Notts fans do. That's what all football fans do. But I don't know if we've ever vocalised this on the channel. There was a point when it was all going wrong, and I think I said to you, when he's not scoring, what does Wootton offer? And I think a lot of people at that point would have agreed. What did he offer when he wasn't scoring? He was literally an extra man on the pitch that maybe took people away, took defenders' eyes off other players maybe. But in the last 3, 4, 5 games, he's added so much to his game. The back heel to set up Reeves yesterday.
Yeah, that was class. That was.
It was the chip to set up O'Brien, which should have been. He could easily have had 2 assists and a goal yesterday.
Yeah.
I would 100% keep Wootton.
1,000%. It's not a doubt in my mind. Never get rid of Wootton.
Yeah, and someone asked us a couple of days ago who would be our player of the season, and we couldn't think of one. Mine would probably now switch to Carl Wootton. I think he's back scoring all over the place.
Put shit in the season, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. So I keep Wootton, but I think if we are to stay regardless, if we stay in the division or go up, we have to get a very good striker with him, because that's one thing I think the side lack. We've got some decent attacking players, but we don't have that that important. We don't have anyone to take the pressure off him as much. And I think at the moment it's working with Rodriguez taking the pressure off. But, you know, what if Rodriguez has to miss a game or two or something like that happens? So,
yeah, it's going to be an exciting summer, I think, because you're thinking Robert's coming back. Obviously, Ruben sort of found his way in English football. And if we do add a striker, like someone sort of different, like almost like that Dennis sort of player, who's a little bit sleeker and good finish, like better finisher. I'm not saying Watton's a bad finisher, but Dennis could finish anything, couldn't he? If you could have like that as your 4 key players, I mean, it could be quite frightening, I think.
Yeah, so Kieran, yeah, good comment, and
yeah,
keep him and definitely bring someone in. Keaton has just said that he can't go to the game because he's got self-isolate. That is gutting.
Gutting,
I mean,
absolutely gutting.
Fingers crossed that does not happen to myself, but you know that's actually gutting because I've been waiting for this for 14 months. 14 months.
Feel for you there, mate. That's horrible. That is.
I know. Jedis is back with us after watching the watch along yesterday, I believe. Let's see what else we've got. What do you think of Calvin Miller's confidence? That's another thing. Where does that come from? Because he was a 6 out of 10 player for every game before the last run of 4, and I think he's a 9.5 out of 10 player.
Yeah. It's just I think Chickson being behind him and being in a back 5. It's not really like a back 5, is it? It's almost like a back 3, I suppose. I think when one side's attacking, the other side sort of pulls back. The wing back pulls back, so you've almost got like a back 4, so you've got cover. So I think that suits Miller down to the ground because it allows him to play a lot higher up, and he just seems to be linking up really well with the players around him. Like Chickson's linking up with him really well. Yesterday, Rodriguez was linking up with him really well, even O'Brien when he was coming over. So I think, yeah, I think he's. I don't even know where it's come from. It's quite phenomenal, really, isn't it?
I haven't said this before, but how can you possibly be that influential from a left wing back role?
It's crazy, isn't it?
At least 2 of the 4 games, he's been maybe behind Ruben, but the most influential player on the team. He's literally creating 4, 5, 6 chances a game from the wing back position, which is stunning from him. And you know, I do think, can he keep going for the last few games? Hopefully is 6 games.
Yeah.
In a very demanding position.
Yeah.
I think if we get a win Tuesday, I think you rest him against Weymouth.
Yeah, I think one thing that sort of goes in our favour a little bit now with that situation is obviously after today, it's the last Tuesday fixture of the season, isn't it? Because the rest of the games are on Saturdays, so we do get a full week, which again is going to be interesting because we're going to be given a full week to do all the build up to a game that I'm sure Birchton will be dying out to do. So it's going to be a very, very intriguing end to the season.
Yeah, right. Let's keep getting your comments and questions in. We've already said we're almost identical to Wrexham. 39 games played, 64 points, 58 goals. It's all the same. We've just conceded 2 more goals than Wrexham. Now, fans are back in stadiums, but Wrexham are not allowed fans back in because they are in Wales. So from the reading we've been doing, they asked for it to be a test event, and by local government or Welsh government, it was denied. So Wrexham do not have fans in, and their manager, reading an interview with them, has said whether it's 50 or 500 fans, it's a disadvantage to Wrexham for the remainder of the season. Now, whether Wrexham get in the playoffs and actually have fans in the playoffs remains to be seen, because it is different rules to in England. So I think that's really positive for Notts. I think if we go play Tuesday night, and Wrexham have fans, it's a different game.
Yeah, 100%. I was thinking that because I think I messaged you, didn't I, just before we started this and said, can they have fans in?
Yeah.
And it must be gutting, really. Sort of, as much as it goes in our favour, it must be gutting to be a Wrexham fan in that respect.
Yeah, so I think that's positive for us. It's going to be a tough game. I mean, they've got goals from all over the pitch. they've got Luke Young is their main scorer, and he's from midfield. He's got 11 this season, so he's almost a Ruben type player. He's got 10, but no one's got as many as Wootton. Now, just branching off from that, Nick said that when Bertrand was asked about Knight and Knowles, he only gave information about Knight. Now, I know he's been retained by Mansfield, so that would suggest that he's had a contract
He was offered a
extension.
contract, wasn't he? Yeah.
But I don't know if he's gone back, but when was he last in the lineup? Was it Barnet? I honestly can't remember, but I don't think he was him against Maidenhead because it was Eli Sam, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
And did Knowles come on in that game? They blur into one when it's Saturday, Tuesday constantly, but I'm not sure. I hope he's not gone back because he would be an asset to have in the playoffs. He's tailed off a little bit, but still, it's just...
Yeah, it's an interesting point. I don't know if did he sign the contract though? I know in the retainers it said he was offered a contract.
I don't. Yeah, I think if not so comfortably looking to win the league, I don't know. But I think at this point you sign the contract as a young player. You sign the contract because there's no going. There's no gone back. There's no
going on
guarantee.
Behind the doors at Notts, though, whether he's been offered a contract. We'll see. It'll all come to light in a couple of weeks.
I'd say he hasn't gone back. I don't think so. I think he's been in a few training videos, but it's interesting why he's not been playing. I think earlier in the season, me and you were calling saying that Wharton cannot play up top on his own, and now look, he's playing up top on his own, and I wouldn't pair him with a striker. I don't think. Last question we'll get before we go into our lineup then. Kind of said, would you keep Sam, and where does Enzio fit in next season if we're to keep him? So, do you want to start on this, or shall I?
I'll quickly head off with it. I think Sam is a good player. I do think there's a good player in there. I think he needs to sharpen a few things up, but he's just unorthodox, isn't he? He's just got an edge where he's quite unpredictable. And I thought when he came on yesterday against Bromley, other than sort of giving the possession away in the middle when you don't really need to be, which, like I said, he needs to sharpen certain points up of his game. When he's ran at them, he's literally turned them inside out a couple of times, hasn't he? He's had a few chances. And I think you can't write anyone off because, like, literally, we've got to hold our hands up here and say, not that long ago, we'd sort of said Rodriguez has times over at Notts. And we did. We said that on the channel. And we, like, looking at us now, we've got egg on our face, haven't we? Because he's literally our best player at the moment.
But it did look that way. It looked completely... Yeah. He wasn't even getting on the bench.
Would I keep him, though? I would, yeah. The Enzio scenario is difficult, isn't it? Because I know we've talked about it before, haven't we, Tom, where previously Bertrand sort of always sticks with the 4-3-3, doesn't he?
Yeah. I don't think we're playing this formation next season. I don't think.
Yeah, so I think that sort of opens up for your wingers and that to sort of come back into the squad. Is that what you was going to say?
Yeah, I was literally going to say, I think... I don't think we play this formation next season. I mean, it's really good, but there's going to be some changes because he does like his 4-3-3. And Chris has just said, I think these are spot on statistics that Enzio's on £1 million a week. I think I've read that. So I think it's 2 or 3 million a week, but
to the pound.
To the pound. He's like got a 500,000 goal bonus or something. But yeah, he's on quite a lot, I think, which he was bought in for good money. So he's going to be on some money. And to have him sat on the bench, if we don't go up, I can't see Enzio staying.
No, I think the thing with Enzio as well, I don't think he'll be short on offers because he has scored some worldy goals on the stage as well. Like my friends that don't really follow National League football that would sort of know about Enzio because of the goals that he scored on TV, like the one against Barnet last season.
Barnet, I knew you'd say that.
So I don't think he'd be short on offers, put it that way, because you can see he's a good player. But I think he does like the legacy that he's got at Notts and he wants to keep that. So
he's well liked.
Yeah, 100%. So it'll be one of those sort of what are Bertrand's plans for next season. I think it ties into.
Yeah, definitely. But some great questions. So we'll get into our lineup then.
And that contract's over now, by the way, because is it over? Because he was signed. It's over soon because it was a 3-year deal, and he was signing the relegation year, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So if it's not over, no, it's not over. Is it? One more season to go, or half a season at least.
Yeah, that's too quick maths for me. Right, line up then. Slocum in goal. Improved massively since coming in back in. Command in, made some great saves. Another good save yesterday. We're going Brindley at fullback. He's got the game time in a less demanding or less energy sapping position at centre back. If you'll say that. Kelly Evans was good, but he showed there was a little bit of an ability to beat a man, and we're playing a better team this time. If you wanted a player to beat the man, that's where Enzio comes in. But Enzio not a wing back for this, so we've gone Brindley. Rawlinson, if he's fit, hopefully comes back in, and then Ellis picks himself, and Chickson, and then Miller. I think that's the strongest defence we can go with. Midfield, George, we've gone the same, haven't we?
Yeah, essentially it is the same in it. So we've got Reeves, Doyle, the Starman, O'Brien, Rodriguez, and I mean, you're looking at that, and there's just quality all around, isn't there? You got Wharton up top, Rodriguez doing whatever he wants, wherever he wants in that final third, and it's working really well for us. So
it really is.
I think it could be a case if we've got the lineup right again.
Yeah, I hope so, because you can't really change much. Like you said, 20 minutes ago, you play that game 100 times against Bromley, we win 95 times. We literally do. I mean, it's one of those games. Every team has them in football. Every single team has them. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
It's just that one error, and that's why we're at National League level. We've got players that make errors. We have that. That's why they're at this level. And you've got Chickson, who's been pretty much faultless, and he's just slept for a minute. He's not in his natural position. It's going to happen, and unfortunately been punished. So yeah, Mick says Rawlinson won't play, and I'm not sure he will. It's not long since we last played a game that he wasn't involved. So it could be Brindley there again. We're not sure. How about the bench? Chris says bench. I would like to see Kelly Evans. For me, Kelly Evans. I'd like to see McCrory back there, but I don't know if, say there was an injury, would you be confident McCrory coming straight back in? So I think it could be Turner. Griffith's always a good option to have for me. Knight or Knowles and Enzio out on our bench.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you, to be fair. You know what? I actually completely forgot about McCrory there for a second.
That was a real positive to see him on the bench.
Yeah, if Rawlinson is still injured and he won't be playing, I mean, maybe McCrory could see himself starting. Who knows?
Yeah, definitely. Right, as we go into our score predictions, as always, as we do every preview, get yours in. We'll flash them up on the screen. So, George, I'll let you go first.
I've gone for a 1-0 Knots. Rodriguez to score. He's got his shooting boots on at the minute, hasn't he? He's on a proper run. I think we're going to have lots of chances. I think it's going to be a sort of similar game to Bromley. Not in terms of the scoreline, obviously. I think both sides are going to have plentiful chances. But I just think Knots will nick it with a 1-0 win. I think Wrexham are going to be a bit harder to break down. But yeah, that's what I've gone for, 1-0 Knots.
I don't think we can forget that Wrexham came back unbelievably from 2-0 down against Bournemouth. But a lot of that game was against 10 men.
I think as well, you've got to consider Bournemouth made them pay for the coach, didn't they? So they probably had a bit of fire in the belly about that to put the team coach outside the ground.
Yeah, I mean, if you need more motivation to go win a game, you've got your coach driver getting his wallet out to pay. I mean, awful. There's been a lot of, I don't want to swear on the channel, but a lot of
housery.
Yeah, housery this season. Not letting reporters in, not even offering streams for some teams. I think Kings Lynn wouldn't allow a stream or something for Wrexham. You've got Maidenhead, Torquay messing us about. I mean, it's
not letting Slater and Lee Curtis and the likes of that in.
I can't remember who said it. It's one of the people that goes in for us. It could have been a host, basically called it Bandit Land or something. I mean, it's unregulated and people are doing what they want. So let's get out of this division. I'm going really. Yeah, Wrexham 1, Notts County 2, Wharton 2 goals. He's getting the right place at the right time. So I think 2-1. Going to be a tricky game. I've said it. If we win this, playoffs are as good as guaranteed for me. I don't think anything would stop us getting playoffs. I think we'll be high in confidence with fans coming back in. I think we'll get the result against Weymouth, and then Bromley at the end of the season might just be for them. So Nick says 3-0 Notts. Would love that.
Love it.
That'll be massive. Keaton's going 2-0 Notts, Rodriguez and Wootton. Ben's going Notts 2, Wrexham 0. No goals conceded so far. Until Hollywood Rangers 1, Stylish Pies 2, Reeves and Miller. How have we gone for the 35-minute preview without mentioning Ryan Reynolds or the Hollywood Rangers? We've got 2-0. I assume that's to Notts. We've got 2-1 Notts here. Rollo and Enzio. Rollo, he's due a goal, isn't it? He's due a goal. We've got Ian saying that both teams will score. We've got good defences, but we've got decent attacks as well. 3-2, which would be the opposite way round to their result on Saturday against Boreham Wood. Colin is going 3-1 Notts, Wootton 2, and Ellis. Said before, if you put Ellis on the score sheet, you've got a good chance of being right. It's a big one, George.
Huge.
I believe it's 7 o'clock. 3 games after the season. Bromley was the biggest game. This is now, without a doubt, the biggest game of the season. We can't be going down to it. But we've just got to hope the players are bang up for it. I think they will be.
Yeah,
definitely. It's been a massive turnout for us tonight. Thank you for all the comments. It's been great just to take a step back and let you ask your questions. Hopefully we've answered them well. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and check out our videos on Tuesday night after we hope Notts have got the victory. Thanks for watching.